everybody. I'm here again. Must be Monday at 7 o'clock. I'm in the soul space. Did you guys miss me the last few days? I did a couple of videos on social media, but of course wasn't like my show. My show is like the biggest thing of the week, right? So I hope you're all watching and sharing. We have a good show for you tonight. I'm actually going to talk a little bit about everything, I think. I just feel like the energy is a little all over the place for me today. I have a lot of irons in the fire. So we're going to talk a little bit about astrology. We're going to talk a little bit about tarot, little spiritual wisdom, fixing my blouse, things like that. And we are definitely going to be able to share the show, and I hope you'll share the show. So if anybody's out there, please, please, please share the show on your page. We need more viewers. We need more viewers. And that's just about it. So going live now, and I'm going to share the show on all my pages, so you can call in tonight or comment. And if there's any questions you have, just put them in the comments or call into the show about astrology, about reading tarot, just about the energy in the world right now. Ask Georgia Rose. That's me. So it's been a really interesting week for me. I actually was in class all day yesterday. You guys know I'm in yoga teacher training, and the energy was off the charts. I don't know if it was the astrology yesterday or just, always the day after Earth Day, I always find the energy very heightened. I think that's because a lot of people go out in nature. I know I did that Saturday. I took a really nice walk out in... What park was I in Saturday? I was down by the lake, I think, actually, Saturday for a little while. I just took a breather because I've been doing a lot of different work. I've been doing a lot of different writing and all kinds of things like that. So I'm actually going to pick a card for the show, start off tonight, and then we're going to go right into the astrology. The astrology is pretty deep right now. We're in between eclipses. Eclipses are things that make sudden changes happen, and eclipses create permanent changes. So whatever's going on in your life, be prepared to pivot. So the card I picked for the show is the Three of Pentacles. The Three of Pentacles for tonight's show is actually a card of, so funny because the Three of Pentacles has the man preaching at the chapel. He's preaching in front of the church and he's got all these followers listening to him. So it's kind of like me. Preach, preach. But I'm not really preaching, hopefully. So let me see who's online tonight. We've got Monica and Janine and Michelle. Hey, Michelle. Twice in one day. Michelle is in my earthbound life, in my real estate world. So we were on Zoom together today training. And Anne's up here. I've got Elaine, always wonderful follower, Elaine. Joanna Meyer, Sarah, who's so faithful. Thank you all for all of supporting the show and supporting our work. I hope you're getting a lot out of this. So comment and let me know how you guys are doing. How are you guys feeling this energy? Because I have to tell you, I'm getting a lot of phone calls and a lot of texts from people, and I pick up the phone and they say, what's going on? So let me get right to that astrology part. So we're in between eclipses. We have a lunar eclipse coming in Scorpio on May 5th. And when we're in between eclipses, you guys know we just had one around the April 21st, 22nd. And eclipses change things. Eclipses don't change things like that. They don't come in and change them in a day. Eclipses come in, takes about 6 months to, it could be as long as 18 months, but usually around the 6-month point, you'll see the major change. Like now you're going to start to get glimpses. For some people, the eclipses create change right away. But what this particular eclipses series and eclipse season is doing is it's creating change. And the change is going to be in something that is your stability, something that is your security, because of course we're on that Scorpio-Taurus axis. So Taurus is a stable energy. Taurus is an energy of the things, the structures, the things we come to rely on and our resources in our life. And Scorpio is digging deep. Scorpio is the things that are hidden. So the eclipse is going to change things that we believe are stable, but deep down we know they aren't. In other words, to give you an example, like suppose you're in a relationship and you really know the relationship isn't that great, but you kind of lying to yourself a little bit and telling yourself it's better than it is, or maybe you just don't want to face what it would be like to be without that person, so you just go along to get along, and something shocking may occur, something that is an inevitable change, but you just don't really want it to happen because you're comfortable with where you're at. And so it's not like it's going to be a change that's going to be completely surprising for you, but it will be a change that is uncomfortable. And the reason for that is because eclipses want to reveal something. They want to illuminate something and help us to be in our perfect alignment for our soul and for what our soul mission, what our soul is brought in this lifetime to do. So that doesn't mean it's always going to be gentle and easy and comfortable, but in the end, we always are grateful for it. So just look to see, where the eclipse season is happening in your chart. You want to look at where Scorpio is, and Aries also is, because the last eclipse was in Aries. But we've got a lot of energy in the Taurus Scorpio axis. The nodes are getting ready to change from those signs where they've been for the last 18 months, South Node in Scorpio, North Node in Taurus. So you're going to see that you're going to find the energy kind of feeling differently. Each day we're getting up and it's almost like we're moving forward towards something, but we don't know what. It's a shift. It's time hops. It's knowing something's coming, knowing things are going to change, but not being able to put your finger on exactly what it is. So, and also in this energy, I have to say that you're going to see many, many things come to an end. Eclipses like to end things. They do it again for our betterment. But these are like almost an energy now where the asteroids are, because you guys know I do asteroids and I won't go into all the details, but there's a lot of energy out in the world, almost like beheading, like people not only losing their heads literally, but like, when I think of it, heads will roll, that kind of an energy. So you're going to see a lot of people getting fired, a lot of people being told to leave jobs or leave partnerships. It's like, we're done. We're cutting it off, cutting it off at the head. And you're going to see a lot of transitions happen because of that. You're also going to see, like today in the news, for instance, I know Don Lemon on CNN and Tucker Carlson on Fox News, done. That's the kind of energy that you're going to see. It's an energy of really chopping things off at the neck. You're going to see that in marriages. You're going to see that in partnerships. But they're the things that already were teeter-tottering. They're not the good things. They're things that are really good for you and feeding your soul. They're not the things that come to an end. During eclipse season, things come to an end that you could probably do better, or you should be somewhere better, or you've been stringing them along for a while knowing they're really not for your betterment. The things that don't enable us to grow are what the eclipses sweep out of our lives, even though a lot of times those things are things we love and things that we're comfortable with and things we really want to have in our life. This eclipse coming in on May 5th absolutely does that. It's a South Node eclipse in Scorpio. It's going to reveal it, sweep it clean, and we're all going to be a little bit unsettled from it. But that's really what it does. So let me look at my comments now. Everything is going wrong the past couple of weeks. Well, Marianne, that's because we have another energy that's very, very strong. Again, a Taurus energy. And that is Mercury going retrograde. And Mercury going retrograde in Taurus is also going to attack our stability. It attacks where we feel the most stable, where we are the most entrenched, the most comfortable. And what Mercury retrograde does is it creates redos, it creates revisits, it creates any word that you can think of that begins with re. You're going to see things happening in twos for that reason. Like maybe you go into work tomorrow and somebody's leaving, and then you come in again the end of the week and somebody else is leaving. Things will happen in twos. When something happens, know there's another part to it that's going to come. That is the influence of this Mercury retrograde and also these eclipses. They're combining together. They're very Uranian. This Mercury retrograde is right up against the planet Uranus. No, that doesn't mean we're taking it up the butt. For some people it might, figuratively speaking. But what it really means is that it's going to be, harsh. It's changes that occur that we don't expect, yet deep down they're expected. We just don't want to go there. We don't want to touch that part that's painful. So Mercury retrograde is what's making things spin a little upside down and being upside down. Like Michelle said, her life is upside down because we're in flux. What's happening is we have such new energy coming into the world right now. And I could go on with that for a couple of hours, from the light codes, the way that the world is actually distributing sun and light codes, and the way the light looks on the water, where the planet is right now in the solar system where it's never been before. We're coming on some energies, some transits of planets in their influence to Earth that we've never had before. We're in real uncharted waters. And so what happens is it's like everything's a revolution, right? And Taurus and Uranus is the planet of revolution. But let's just think about that word revolution. And instead of thinking about it like, a guy with a musket coming out to, free himself, think of it as liberation in a circle pattern, like a revolution of a circle, right? Like a wheel turning. So the wheel of time is turning, the wheel of karma is turning, the wheel of our fate is turning. And as it does this, it's very used to turning on a certain axis and turning a certain way. And now we've got all this energy coming in from the solar flares, from the vibration of the earth that's changing, from where the planets that aspect us out in the solar system are now changed. We've had so many major changes in the last few years that now that revolution, that wheel spinning, it's not spinning on the same axis anymore. Even a slight adjustment, for those of you who do yoga, and you'll be in a pose and you'll just slightly even adjust your wrist, it changes the whole pose. So revolution, when something turns and the wheel of time, for instance, is turning, the wheel of our lives are turning, the wheel of fate is turning, and it's used to turning on a certain axis. And then an energy comes along and just adjusts it slightly. Everything's out of whack. And that's what we've been going through, I'd say, for the last, probably since 2011, but very heightened since 2020, since that great conjunction that we had in December of 2020. And so we're all in a little bit of misalignment. But the purpose of this adjustment is to put us in a higher and deeper alignment as a species. We're growing into a different level of mind, of soul, of embodiment. And that's why we're changing. And things are changing so rapidly in the world right now that we can't catch up. And that's also why sometimes we'll feel like we have a flu, but we don't really, or we're just very, very tired. Like today, I felt like going to sleep at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, which is extremely unusual for me. But it's because things feel like they're shifting, they're overwhelming, they're shifting very rapidly, and we can't catch up. And for those of us who are really tied into energy, which is what the soul space is about, when we're starting to evolve and understand and feel an energy above our five senses, above what our eyes and ears and nose and mouth and felt sense can feel, we're not just taking in the bombardment of everything in the material world in those five senses. We're taking in the things that our subtle body feels, that our energy feels, that our intuition tells us, and it can be a bombardment. So what do you do about it? How do we adjust? How do we make our lives be more aligned? Well, there's two things you have to do, and these are two major things. And I'm about to tell you something that may seem new to some of you, may seem like a reminder to some of you, but has been around for 5,000 years. Two things you have to do to stay in alignment with the planet, wherever the planet is and whatever the world's doing. You've got to spend time in quiet stillness, whatever that looks like and feels like for you, whether it's being on the yoga mat, or whether it's just walking in the forest, or whether it's going by the ocean, or whether it's just having a cup of coffee on the back patio, or whether it's spending an extra 10 minutes in your shower in the morning. You have to find stillness somewhere. When the body is trained how to relax and be in stillness, it recuperates. That's the only way the body recuperates. Some people don't even recuperate with sleep because our minds are going so quickly, especially those of us that astro travel and things. So stillness, you've got to find something every day that you do that puts you in stillness so that you can recuperate. You can renew, rejuvenate, adjust, purify. And then the second thing that you have to do is you have to get really good at listening to your intuition. Because the intuition is the part of the brain and the part of the soul that will lead you into alignment in your life. When we ignore our intuition, and usually we do that when we're stressed and we have too much on our minds or we're overwhelmed, when we ignore our intuition, that's when things start to go crazy and fall apart and collapse, and we're in too much energy and we don't know which way to go, and we're overwhelmed, and maybe we feel defeated and we're just unsure and we're at a crossroads and we just can't even think straight. You need the stillness to find the intuition and practice something that puts you in intuition. And that's why, my Zenkuda Soul Space here on Mondays at 7 and my YouTube channel is all about astrology and tarot, even though for some people that may seem superficial, it's actually deep practices and devotions that put us in the divination of our intuition. Because when we pick a card and have to psychically or get an imprint of what this means to us, even if it's just a card with a picture on it, we're working our intuition. We're developing that sixth sense of what's right for us. So if there's anything that you know deep down, and you keep pushing it away and pushing it down, that you are supposed to do, whether that's make a move physically to a new home, whether that's ending a relationship, whether that's finding a different job, whether that's taking care of your body, whether that's stopping a bad habit, whether that's communicating differently, there's something that nags at you. That's your intuition telling you that's the way, if you do that, you'll be in alignment. As soon as we start to listen to that little voice that we so often don't listen to, as soon as we start to listen to that, that's when everything starts to fall in place. You know, that little voice that says, Georgia, you need to go to yoga teacher training to deepen your practice. And for 3 years, I don't do it. And then I do it. And I'm like, wow, this just like set my whole life on fire. You know, or that little voice that tells you need to go get a certification to do something different in your career, or that little voice that says you should be home having a baby, or that little voice that says you need to cut the apron strings for your college-age child, or whatever it is. There's a voice that tells you what to do. And until you do it, you're going to have chaos. Until you follow your soul's alignment, you're going to have chaos. And what we do is we put all these things from the material world that we call accumulations, really. We put them all in the way of that voice. Oh, no, I can't go home and have a baby because my husband needs a new car. Or, no, I can't quit this job because what would I do? You know, I would never find another one, right? It's all the bullshit stuff we tell each other. Sorry, I cursed and this is going to go on public access. But it's all the stuff we tell each other and we tell ourselves so that we're not listening to the intuition because it might be a little uncomfortable. So we'll stay in the chaos, which is super uncomfortable because that's not something we really have to deal with. We're kind of just being carried. It's the path of least resistance. But if you man up, woman up, person up, flex those intuitive muscles, then you're going to find that you're going to live in alignment and you're not going to have all that stuff swirling around you. So that's why things seem kind of chaotic. Sorry if I sounded like I was lecturing. I didn't mean to because we're all in the same boat. I also have things like that. But you're going to feel dysfunctional until you listen to your intuition because this material world will make you dysfunctional. This material world doesn't have your soul space on its agenda. The material world wants to feed your ego. And the ego is always going to keep you in chaos because that's how it maintains control over what you do. When you're in touch with the soul space and you're working from alignment and you're working from what your heart's desire is, then the ego's not in control anymore and things just flow. You're in flow. Really, try it. It works. So I'm going to pull some cards for everybody. Hey, Laureen. I got Liz on. I got Linda, Colleen. How is everybody tonight? So tell me how you're feeling in this energy, everybody, because I want to know. So we pulled the Three of Pentacles for the card for tonight's show. And the Three of Pentacles is an energy that it can be three, of course, is a divine number, you know, where more than, you know, where three people gather, there's usually a collaboration, right? But this is also a card of divine wisdom and spiritual wisdom. So I'm going to keep that right up here. Well, I got to put it back in the deck if I'm picking cards for you guys, right? So, okay. Somebody just put in that they feel overwhelmed. See, twice today. That's why. Today was a day. Yeah, today was a day. I know. Jennifer Califati. Hi, Stephanie Kalanoff. Instead, I listened tonight. Oh, that's cool. And Marianne says, everything's going wrong. Past couple of weeks. Got that one. Feeling scared for the future of the country. Yeah. Like I'm living in someone else's life and totally exhausted. That's funny, but not funny. You know, funny, but not funny. Yeah, because you're not in alignment. So just try and be in stillness and really find out what your main goal is. Like, what is your body telling you? What is your heart telling you? Liz says chaos. Monica, totally crazy. Yeah, that's why go into stillness, everybody. Go into stillness. Maybe I should do a meditation online this week. I don't know. But even at my regular earthbound job, the managers are coming to me and saying, Georgia, can you come to our office? You need to talk to these agents. I'm in real estate. Because everybody's freaking out because this economy is not great, no matter what you believe. Okay. So a lot of people are saying they're scared for the future of the country. And you guys know I try not to be political on this show. I just say whatever is going on in the world, but I don't have a political agenda at all. I don't really believe in politics, to be quite frank. I believe there's global controllers we don't know about. But, well, that's for another show. Okay. But I don't know if something happened today because somebody else left me a text and said, what's happening with the country? I don't know. I don't watch the news too often, like 3 times a week maybe. But what I will tell you, and I say this broadly, I'm not going to give a specific prediction, but I said this once before on the show, and I'm trying to choose my words really carefully. I do feel that these eclipses are going to bring about the death, either figuratively or literal, of a world leader. Something is in tremendous flux and change right now on the world front. I do believe it's something in this country, but I also get the feeling that it is something abroad. And I've said that before. I do study charts, and there are some famous people with charts with this eclipse season that do, kind of reveal either a fall from grace or a literal illness. And of course, I'm not going to be publicly putting that out there, but that's definitely what is happening. We're definitely in a time period where you are going to see death. And when I say death, that's in quotes, meaning figuratively possibly, or, literally possibly, of a world leader. And, I say that, of course, with, sending love out, but you can't change your fate, can't change your fate. So, all right. So let's see what we got here. I just looked at myself on camera. I should never do that when I'm on the show because it totally distracts me. And then I'm looking at myself for like the next Bobby's laughing. And then I'm looking at myself for the next half hour. So funny. Okay, let's go to cards. I'm Bobby's favorite. He tells that to every host. I'm Bobby's favorite because, hey, I have this joke that I work very hard on everything I do. I really do. I put a lot into it. I always really from my heart. But I have this saying, I always say, I wing it and then I bring it. And so it's so funny because I'm in class with some ladies now and they're like, well, you can't wing it. And so I drive Bob crazy because I come in every Monday night, like at 5 to 7. And it's so funny because when I first came, I used to come a half hour early and I'd be sitting around the studio and there'd be other people sitting around the studio. And we'd all get to know each other. Now nobody comes early because the studios are all open. So now you don't want to make noise. But Bobby used to say to me, I hate when people come and hang around when I'm trying to work and there's shows on. So that's some inside scoop. So I'm planning, didn't tell Bobby this yet, but I'm planning on once a month opening the studio up when I do my show for anybody who wants to come and sit in the audience. And we'll do the monthly astrology that night. So this card is for last person in my feed, Elena Nemestas. Wing it and bring it. That's what I do. Because you know why? I used to have to do in my previous company. I used to have to do I used to have to do live events quarterly for the whole company. So I would have to get up and just perform or do a segment for 300-500 people, whatever. And I would know what I was going to say and I'd prepare. But my president of the company, I was senior VP and he was president. He would always say to me, do you want to rehearse? Do you want to rehearse? I'd be like, no. And I would make him so nervous. And then I would get up and I would do what I had to do. And he'd be like, you knocked it out of the park. Because if I prepare and rehearse, I'm really bad. I have to just get up and just do my thing and kind of speak from my heart. And even my shows, I'll write down the astrology. But tonight I just kind of sat down. I didn't know really what we were going to do. So, and I always set the intention for a beautiful show that maybe something I say will touch someone, and that's all you can do. And I also always ask Spirit to come in, speak through me if there's anything anyone needs to hear, and to also allow us the opportunity to be together in some kind of collaboration. So I always like try and send hearts up or do whatever I can. Let's give each other all hearts in the heart space. So Elena, this card is for you. It is the Seven of Wands. Seven of Wands keeps coming up. It actually came up in my Tuesday tarot tips, which will be online tomorrow. Seven of Wands is a card that you are kind of competitive, maybe in a little bit of a battle, but that you are actually winning that battle. You're standing above it. So what I will tell you is, you've got the star card here, which actually I flipped, so it should be this way. So you are in some, it's so funny because these cards came out in my Tarot Tuesday video. That'll be up on my Zenkuda YouTube channel tomorrow. The star card actually is when we embody bringing the material and the spiritual world together. So whatever you're battling, it's bringing you to a higher place consciously. So it could even be a personal battle that you're doing inside yourself. So just know that you're on the right track. Keep moving forward with whatever you have to do in your life, because it's bringing you to this beautiful space in the world of really being in your soul space. All right. Next card I'm going to pull is for Marianne Sabatino. All right, Marianne. I'm sorry things have been rough for you lately. Marianne, please try to find stillness. I feel like you're not spending enough time on yourself. And that's also something that's going to be a real theme this week for the astrology, is we're all going to need to spend more time and effort on ourselves and our own lives and moving our lives forward instead of all the attention we give to others. You've got to pull it back and spend time with yourself. And I feel like that's a direct message for Marianne right now. I've got the Queen of Pentacles, which is the Aries card, and Three of Cups. So this is celebrating you. Marianne, I'm going to tell you that these two cards mean celebrate yourself. Pull back on the attention, the focus, and the worry that you're giving other people, because you need to go into your own space and celebrate yourself. The reason why things are a little out of whack for you is because you are not paying attention to the things going on internally and in your own world. All right. Monica, I'm going to pull a card for you, and then I'm going to do Jennifer Califatti. Monica, my Monica. Monica, I feel like a little bit of heaviness around you. I'm trying to remember, and I don't know why sometimes it just pops into my mind because I would never know it otherwise. I feel like you have Scorpio energy in your chart. And, with getting this eclipse on the 5th in Scorpio on the South Node, that can feel very heavy. So you want to really bring yourself up, try and raise your vibration with music, joyfulness, do what makes you happy, find something that gives you joy and do that. Really important to raise your vibration during this season. And I got the Eight of Wands and the King of Wands. So this is, again, fire sign male. This keeps coming up for you. I know it came up before. This is moving things forward, moving things forward. The movement forward is pointing to this King of Wands. So this could be, if I look at it, if I put it on camera, this could be something pointing to this male fire sign individual. But I'm also getting a heaviness around you. So please, please make sure that you put yourself in some kind of a raised vibration and joy. Really important for us right now in the world to spend time on ourselves. If there are people in your life that you need to caretake for, or you need to spend a lot of time worrying about or spending energy on, put that on the shelf. You can pick it up and do it later on. This week, you've got to spend time doing all those things for yourself and being in self-love. You want to open that heart chakra and have gratitude. Gratitude is really the name of the game this week because the energy is going to be really heavy. Okay, this is for Jennifer. Shuffling. Jennifer, I'm picking up a female energy around you, like almost like a mother energy, but yet it feels younger than mother energy. So I don't know if you have an older sister or a sister who's like a mom to you or something, but I do feel like, or an aunt maybe, I feel like there's energy coming in from the other side, feminine energy. Okay, let me pick cards. They're telling me to pick from the middle of the deck. They're telling me that card and this one. Got this. You guys saw me shuffle, and I got the Eight of Wands again. The Eight of Wands is a card of action. We're going to see this card a lot this week because things are just moving really quickly, and they will do that up until the next eclipse. It's almost like a rubber band stretching really, really fast, and the energy's just got to break. It's got to give way. It's got to change. It's got to release. So we all need to take time to release ourselves. And the King of Wands, you guys saw me shuffle this deck, and now the cards come out and they're reversed. For Monica, they were like this. For you, they're like this. So this is about a fire sign male making something happen. There's somebody that is around you that's going to actually move something forward. But I'm also getting that energy female around you. So, and I feel like it's from the other side. So just know that you do have someone who is around you, maybe wants to send you a little message or bring you a sign. But also watch for fire sign male that is moving things forward. You know, if you have a partner or someone, business partner, romantic partner, that's a fire sign, Aries, Sagittarius, Leo, that something about decisions that you are making, but he's really the one who's going to move the train forward. All right. But that feminine energy is really coming through. Okay. Yeah, Monica says she's seeing 444, 333, and 111 on a regular. A lot of times when we see those things, they can have all kinds of meanings. But sometimes I think for you now, Monica, that is coming in almost like saying, hey, look over here. We want you to go into stillness. We want you to go into contemplation. You've really got to spend some energy, doing your meditations, doing your devotion, because it's really an important week for that. Jennifer, I don't know if that resonated with you, but I definitely got a female energy on the other side coming in. And Anita, I'm going to give you a couple of cards. So, okay. And guys, I'm going to be putting up, just so you know the schedule, I'm going to be putting up every Tuesday is Tarot Tuesday. So on my Zenkuda on YouTube, we're going to be putting up on Tarot Tuesday. There's a short video, and it'll have tarot pulls for all of the astrology signs grouped by fire, water, air, and earth. So whatever your sign is, I'll be saying what the sign is, and then we'll be doing a tarot pull for those signs for the week. So that'll be up tomorrow morning, and I'll be doing that weekly. And so subscribe to the channel if you want notification of that. They're telling me to pick 3 cards for you, Anita. And also, this show is always put on the Zenkuda YouTube channel the day after the show. So if you miss it or you want to show a friend, it's always on YouTube, Zenkuda on YouTube. Please subscribe to get notifications when we put up new videos. And I have other videos that aren't on the show or aren't Tarot Tuesday as well. So first card that came up for you, Anita, was the King of Swords. King of Swords is usually a male earth sign, like a Libra energy, or it could be a Taurus energy. And in this spread that this came up, I have new beginnings coming. Like you're finally getting rid of this male energy and a new beginning is coming. And this new beginning, it may be a little bit slow starting out, but it really does lead you to where you are supposed to be led for your life purpose. Because I've got the King of Swords, which is this male person. I feel like he's going away. He's moving away from your energy now. And then you've got this Ace of Pentacles, which means good fortune, abundance coming your way. And then after that, I've got the Star card, which is like the culmination of the story. And again, we keep getting these same cards because the energy in the world right now is the changes that are happening are meant to move us to our soul space, our soul purpose, our alignment with what we really want to do to bring abundance and joy in our life. So it's not mistaken that the Action card keeps coming up and this beautiful Star card keeps coming up. So this is just, the cards will keep coming up to show you this is what's happening in the universe, guys. So that's why I love the idea of doing tarot as a divination tool for intuition. So I believe this happens. I'm going to pick a 4th card. Yeah, and then Page of Wands. That's your sun. So you've got this King of Swords moving away. Then you've got new beginnings coming. Everything starts to really go into flow. Just give it some time. I'm seeing 3-6 months. And then I feel like your sun thrives. Yeah, and that's you, Queen of Swords. You and your son are going to be fine. Everything's going to be great. New beginnings coming. Male energy is moving away from you, though. Okay, I'm going to pick the last person. Yeah, it's definitely that. I feel the energy. So, and I feel your heartbreak too, Anita. So just know that I'm sending you love, and I'm also sending you empowerment. Because I feel like you are such a powerful person and you're not stepping into your full power right now. And I get that. We all get some nicks and stuff. But really try and step into your empowerment and feel that power in your heart. You know, that fierce love you have for your child. Give that to yourself. Because this is a week where we really have to make ourselves more important than the people around us. Okay, I am going to pick... I'm going to pick a card for Lorene because I know she doesn't come on often enough, and I'm going to give her a couple of cards. And don't feel overwhelmed. Remember, one step at a time. Whenever we're in overwhelm, that's a sign the universe wants us to slow down, go into stillness so we can think straight and make some decisions. When we are overwhelmed, we've got to shut everything off. Even if that means it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you're going to put your pajamas on and go to bed and watch I Love Lucy. You know, sometimes we have to do that. Yesterday, I finally came home after a weekend where I really worked hard on a lot of things all weekend. And then last night I came home, worked a little bit, and then I was like, you know what? It's pajama time, and I'm just going to watch some stupid movie because I just got to get to that place where my mind isn't so busy. So overwhelm is a sign that we are needing simple space and quiet. So a couple of cards that came out for you, Laureen. All right, so I've got this card that is the 8 of Swords. And usually when the 8 of Swords comes to me in a reading, this is someone around you that you need to be careful about. This is someone that, you know, this is my sneaky Pete, as Elaine calls him, the thief in the night card, as I call it. This is somebody that is not what they seem. They're trying to manipulate you, and you need to move away from it. The next card is the 8 of Cups. And the 8 of Cups shows somebody walking away from abundance. So this person may be someone you love, someone you feel attached to, but you're going to be walking away from them because they will take you on a fool's journey, which is the third card we got, which is the Fool. You know, we're all meant to take risks in life, but we do that trusting in a higher power, whether that's God or angels or whatever you believe in. But we're not supposed to give that level of trust to another human. We can trust people that we love who've proven themselves, but we've got to stop assigning that level of trust to people before we see it in them. And I just feel like, you know, this is a story that you've been caught in for a long time, but this is definitely the sneaky Pete card. This is somebody like lurking around you, looking for an in, not being honest. And then we've got the card, I believe this is you, walking away from that. Even though there's some abundance there, there's some love there, and there's some benefit there, you're going to walk away from it. Otherwise, it's like you're just taking a leap and it's not going to work. Culmination of the reading, I'm actually going to shuffle the cards again, which I know a lot of readers don't do in the middle of a reading, but that's what I'm being told to do by Spirit. So I'm going to shuffle these cards again for the culmination of this reading because they're telling me to do that. They want you to see the outcome. The outcome is believe in yourself. I'm hearing that. And Knight of Swords. This is going to happen swiftly. You might feel overwhelmed right now, but you're going to make some decisions. Please go into stillness because you're making decisions very rapidly and you want to make sure that you're in touch with that heart. You're going to see truth. And I believe this is going to happen around the 5th of May. 1st, 2nd of May are super, super hot days. They are powerful days for truth to be revealed for everyone. So then the eclipse comes in. So please take time to be in quiet, even if that means you shut your phone off for an hour. Nothing horrible is going to happen. But I'm really feeling like you need to believe in yourself. And all of the questioning that you're doing, all of the decision making you're trying to do, reel that back in and go back into what you know is truth within yourself and what you know is the right thing, because you got too much in your ear, too much in your head. All right, honey? You know I love you, and I'm rooting for you to make whatever decisions you need to make. You can always call me if you just want to talk. Okay, yeah, everyone's feeling very tired and very exhausted. It was just that kind of day. A lot of exhaustion. We've got a lot of planets moving. We've got a lot of things that are just spinning. But I felt like I shut everybody out, and I shut out the world. I shut out the media. I shut out a lot of stuff the last couple of days for the weekend. And I was super creative and got a lot done. So I know that's what we have to do. We've got to minimize the distractions a little bit. All right. So what I want to do now, I know there's some of you online that still want cards, but you can tune into that on the new YouTube channel. You can tune into that Tarot Tuesday, and you'll get some readings there too. Right now, I want to pull some cards for world energy because so many people are calling me up and saying, I'm so worried about the state of the world. I'm so worried about this and that, whatever. So I'm just going to pull some cards for the world. Let's see what comes out. And if Elaine, if you're still online and you want to chime in, I would love that. Elaine is one of my very favorite readers. Okay, because I know what the astrology says. And we're in for a little ride the next few months. I got the Hangman. Okay. Hangman is a card that usually describes indecision, like where, the Hangman almost looks the same right side up and upside down. It's the card that we're stuck in between. We're in between state. And that's kind of making sense because we're in between eclipses. So, High Priestess, to me, that is significant of people who are in the spiritual world and people who are giving spiritual guidance, people who are using divination tools like we do, crystals, tarot, healing modalities, is the High Priestess. It's somebody who is very evolved. You can see the symbol on the crown of the head, the half moon, really like a goddess. We've got the Strength card upside down. This really speaks to me. I know what the next card's going to be. Yep. So this is the Venus energy. Venus is really having a tough time right now in the sky. She's cranky. So what we're seeing here is the strength of the spirituality is weak right now. Even though so many people are awakening to what's good in the world, we're also questioning it. We are questioning our belief systems. We're questioning where we want to go as we move forward. And we're questioning what structures we really believe in. But if you look at the Strength card, even in reverse, especially when it's in between the High Priestess and the Empress, which is the Empress is Venus, it's love. High Priestess is our higher mind. So we've got to meld these two in order for the Strength card to finally be right side up. But when you look at the Strength card, which is the Lion Tamer, two things that you need to do when you read this card. Number one, the infinity symbol over the head means nothing is impossible. And nothing is especially impossible when you have love and the higher mind merging together. That's the symbolization of the Star card. So when a lion tamer does his work, he doesn't beat the lion into submission. He doesn't enslave the lion, as we see so much enslavement going on in the universe right now in many different ways. He doesn't enslave the lion. He gains the lion's trust by being authentic, by showing the lion he means him no harm. And that's when we're really in our highest power. The Strength card is also the Leo card. The life lesson of Leo is that the love of power cannot be greater than the power of love. And look at how it's in between the heart and the mind. That's the world lesson right now, and that's what we're seeing play out. You can, in simple terms, say that that's dark and light. Cards don't lie. So now let's see what else is going to come in. I'm going to pick 3 more cards and then go to a soul card. Yeah, so there's everything. Stories being told. Too many choices. We're in chaos. The 8 of Cups is, the 7 of Cups is a card where we're being shown all these choices. We have all these ways we can go, all these forks in the road, but what do we do? What do we do? What do we do? Well, joy is found when we have the higher mind merging with the heart. And this is the 10 of Cups, which is the most joyful card in the deck. Some people call it the marriage card, the soulmate card. If you looked as a family here, it's about unity. It's about the rainbow. It's about that beautiful high energy of abundance when we all come together in oneness. And it's right underneath that Strength card. So you've got the higher mind, the strength of the world challenged, the heart. Merging these two will give us this, the abundance, the perfect ending, what's over the rainbow. And then the Ace of Wands comes in as the culmination card in this spread. The Ace of Wands in this spread, if you look at it, I'll hold it up. You see all the leaves coming off the wand, the staff, new beginnings. All of this beautiful hand that's holding the wand is the hand of God. And it's saying, if you combine the higher mind, the heart, in strength, then nothing is impossible. The infinity sign, the rainbow, the oneness, we make our choices. And now we have this beautiful new beginning from the Ace of Wands, creating new energy, new growth from the hand of God. Beautiful spread, and that's the condition of the world, and that's why we have to go into stillness. We have to send love out to the universe every day. When you go into that stillness and you go into that place in your own soul space, make sure that then you send the energy of that, picture like pixie dust coming out of your heart, sparkling light coming out of your heart, and just send it out to the world. Because as we raise our vibration, then we can raise the world's vibration. And that's the battlefield. The battlefield isn't Washington, D.C. It's not China. It's not Ukraine. That's the material world's battlefield. Our battlefield is in our own heart, to live the embodiment of spirit and go above the 5 senses, to know that our higher mind and heart can merge to accomplish things that would never be impossible. that we can find joy and abundance within ourselves and bring that out to the world and live the best life we can. And I'm going to close the show on that note. And I hope you'll all tune in next Monday at 7 p.m. and watch all my YouTube videos and tell me what you want to see, because I want to help all of you really get into your own soul space and become your full potential like I'm striving to do. Together we can do this. I'm sending you all out love. And if you want a private reading, whether it's astrology or mediumship, or you want a card reading, please just PM me, DM me, reach out to me. You can always email me at connect@zenkuda.com. And definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you get the notifications of all those Tarot Tuesdays and our astrology videos. Thanks so much. I love you all. Sending up hearts to you. See you next week in the Soul Space and on YouTube and Facebook. Let me know what you guys want to hear about. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.